All right, welcome back to the EF5 podcast, the crossroads between logistics and life. And today, we got a lot of things we want to talk about. And a lot of them are under one umbrella, even. And being as loud as possible on the desk over there. Were you making paper airplanes or something, guy?
Moving freight.
Moving freight, that's what it sounds like?
That's what we used to do back in the day.
Move freight? What do we do now?
All paperwork.
All paperwork?
That's all it was.
I mean, it ain't much different still.
It's a lot different.
You think so?
Not too much different.
Now it's not faxed to you. Now it's just emailed to you.
Fax.
Yeah.
He said fax?
Yeah. Fax.
Oh, that's great.
Do you know fax is an acronym? Or not an acronym, but it's like a short for something?
Facsimile.
Yeah. When I figured that out, I was like, whoa. I've never heard of this word before.
You never heard of facsimile?
No, but you best bet I call it the facsimile machine every time I see it now. Why are you throwing stuff?
I didn't need that.
You're unhinged. All right, anyways, what we're coming to talk about today is we're going to talk about how the business has changed. I know we actually talked a little bit just a second ago about the paperwork and how apparently it's not
You like that intro I did?
near as much. Yeah, it was on purpose. I know what were you going to say?
None.
You just showing off a little bit there? You know, I don't think we ever really talked about that, did we?
Did. Trophies mean everything, right?
I didn't, well, not participation ones, I can say that much. So you actually want to elaborate on this and why it says 2017 and not 18, 19, 20, 21?
Well, you had COVID, so I couldn't win it every year.
What about the 2 years in between?
Hey,
Look, it spins, though.
No, it's already broken.
You broke it?
Look, I didn't know it was like that flimsy on the end. Look, I didn't know we were getting into the mouth, so it broke right there. Yeah,
It doesn't look that broken.
I know, but now everybody will look at my broken plane.
I don't see it. Anyways,
I'm gonna trash it one day.
So
because that's what I think about trophies.
Damn. Wow. I know we talked about how the business is changing. What's changed since we got the award there in 2017? You. That's your award, not me.
It was Cargo Person of the Year.
Cargo Person of the Year. So what has changed since then? I mean, there's been a couple years.
Since 17.
Aside from COVID stuff, the COVID
we're
stuff.
not talking about COVID.
Obviously, it was a little
Before
bit
we get
of
there,
a
I got a question for you.
For me?
How much money do you think? According to Google, I want to pull this up just to make sure I was right.
Okay, is this like a deal or no deal thing? What's under case 20?
You can call a friend if you want.
Call a friend? Okay.
All right, so how much do you think the U.S. and the logistics business has? Don't look it up. What are you doing?
No, I'm phoning a friend.
Oh, Lord. You call Zach.
Call Zach?
Yeah, we can call Zach.
All right, I'll call Zach.
How much money do you think is spent in the logistics industry?
Spent in the logistics industry?
Yes. American businesses spend big money every year to ship their products.
Hold on. You gotta
Companies
calm it
spend-
down. I'm phoning a friend.
Approximately how much a year?
I'm gonna need you to say that again. Is this even picking up? I don't
know.
It's picking up.
Oh, Lord. We got to recut this again? This is what happens when we're amateurs.
What's going on here, actually?
You're going to lose.
Is he not going to answer me?
No, he's not. He might be at lunch.
All right.
Oh, wow.
I guess it's up to me.
You want to call Jackie?
Nah, I guess it.
All right. American businesses spend big money every year to ship their products. Companies spend.
Oh, he's calling back.
You get a shot. Here we go.
All right. Hey, Zach.
You're on video, so don't say anything you wouldn't say in front of your mom.
Hey, I got a question. All right. Ask the question again.
American businesses spend big money every year to ship their products. Companies spend approximately how much a year?
How much a year?
Yeah, all the American companies combined. How much a year would you be your guess?
Combined?
Yes, to ship their products.
I'm going to go in the billions.
All right, what do you got, Cole?
I'm gonna go with. A trillion.
The answer is 1.5 trillion.
Oh, I was close. All right, that's all I needed.
All right,
Goodbye,
we'll talk to
Zach.
you later, Zach.
Bye. He didn't help me out there too much.
All right, so I got one for you.
You got one for me, okay? All right, here, hold on 1 second.
All right, so question for you, Cole.
All right.
Approximately how many miles does $1 trillion?
How many miles is
Yeah.
$1 trillion? Okay, well, let me think about this. Hold on. I got to take a second. Okay, this doesn't reach far enough. I got to. Oh, God.
You going to walk it out?
Oh, Lord. All right, so.
How many miles is $1 trillion?
So let's think. A dollar is probably what? Like, it's probably what, like 8 inches, you think? 9 inches?
I don't know. I'm broke. I don't have any money.
I'll go with 9 inches. Okay, so it's 9 inches and it's $1 trillion. So the trillion times, I'm going to go with like 560,000 miles.
For $1 trillion, if you spread them out, it would be 6 million miles, 6,786,616 miles. So over 6.5 million miles.
I missed about 6 million
Yeah.
miles.
Yeah, you're off a little bit.
That's a little bit, yeah.
Fun fact, though.
Okay.
It's 2.5 times if you stacked it up farther than the space station. $1.5 trillion.
2.5 times? Wow.
The distance to the space station.
You want to hear another fun space fact?
What's that?
It's about a 30-minute drive.
30-minute drive.
If you could drive straight up, it's about 30 minutes.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
No. Not according to my measurements of $1.5 trillion.
It's only like, what is it? I think it's like 60 miles. 60 miles straight up. 40,
No.
50, 60 miles, somewhere around there.
No way. Well,
Too
maybe
bad
they
you-
were talking about the orbit to it. I don't know. That,
Well,
we all
I
know
mean,
the internet's all true. So
well, I was saying just to get to space. Not
the
necessarily.
space. Okay, I'm talking about the space station.
Yeah, that's a little bit farther out.
Yeah, it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah, I was saying just out of the, like, Earth.
So it'd take you 2.5 times to get there. 2.5 times farther than the space station if you stacked $1 trillion up.
That's pretty far. That's like halfway to Mars.
And that's how much $1.5 trillion is what American businesses spend in the logistics business.
That's just this industry too.
That's just American businesses
In logistics.
Logistics.
Don't even get us started on the Europeans. And don't even get us started on the French now.
Oh, don't be doing that. We'll get banned in all these countries.
We're already banned for a couple.
So I grew up in the business, as the second episode talks about. But back in the day, quote unquote,
It was a while ago. Was that like the 40s, 50s even?
Yeah, it was right after World War II,
Yeah, that was about when you were born.
right before 9/11, somewhere in the middle there.
Somewhere in the middle.
But I mean, just the traffic. Obviously, that's a huge part. That's changed in all the places we navigate for freight wise, because that's changed. Because there used to be just hubs.
Right.
It used to be Chicago, New York, Miami, L.A. Those were the main hubs that would service. Then you kind of had Houston come into the play, and then you had a need in the Southeast. Fun fact: do you know why Glock picked Atlanta as its hub?
No, I have no idea.
The
Actually.
Glock handguns used Atlanta as the southeastern hub for their logistics when they moved to actually produce in America.
Okay.
From Austria is where they're from.
Okay.
And they picked the southeast because of their kindness towards hunting and guns. They used the hub of Atlanta, which was growing at the time, that became the busiest international airport.
That's kind of smart, though, if you think about it, because it's like kind of dead center of the Southeast or
Correct.
of the Bible Belt. And you look at places like Alabama, Mississippi, even the Carolinas for that matter, like logistics-wise, they don't really stack up to each other or stack up to Atlanta.
So we've seen the development over the years of just the process of logistics.
Have you seen it in places like Aruba or Jamaica? Ooh, I want to take you.
No. Didn't just go there. So you had that play into it, location, growth, population, and traffic.
Right.
One of the real interesting things is security obviously has changed over the years.
Yeah, a little bit.
I can remember as a young kid back in the day when the horse would pull me up to the airport, since I'm that old.
Yeah, back when the carts were carried behind.
When it was true horsepower.
Yeah.
But I can remember going all the way up to the terminal to meet my dad coming off the plane.
Right.
And without a ticket.
Right.
And heck, I can remember This was in late 90s, I guess it was. The Antonov flew into Atlanta Airport, and the Antonov is the largest cargo plane in the world, non-military.
Okay.
It has a crane inside it.
Okay.
The crane comes out, and the nose flips open. The crane comes out. And I can remember going across the tarmac with somebody I knew at Delta Airlines. Hop in the truck. Let's go drive over there and see it.
Yeah, now there's just no way.
Oh, we would be on lockdown in a heartbeat with security and everything, and be on the news and arrested without the right credentials, at least.
Well, I know too. Like even when I go like to the airline warehouses, you know, everybody that's always there that I see, they always tell me about what it was like before the cages were there.
Oh yeah,
and how you could just like roam the warehouse and things.
People,
like that.
Most people who have never been to a CFS location or a warehouse that brings in cargo from overseas, they can't wrap their head around what it looks like. And so maybe there's actually some videos on there a little bit, but for the most part there's a cage. You walk in, you can only go so far,
right?
And so that kind of bleeds into what I was going to share. Is like I can remember back in the day that you would back the truck up to the dock like we do at some of the shippers we go to, and I'd literally climb up the side of the truck, hop up on the dock because the door would be open.
Right.
And then go walk into the warehouse and flag down the forklift driver and say, hey, I got this freight that needs to be unloaded. I'll be right there. They come over and literally sign the physical airway bill.
Right.
Which now we're electronically sending the airway bill, so there's zero paperwork.
Right.
But they would literally drive up and sign that paperwork and take that document pouch and walk it over and put it in a stack. And then they would take that stack at the end of the day, write it all down, and that's what the manifest was for the airplane that loaded at night. There wasn't really a person to check you in, to take the computer information, put it all, to make sure it all fit and all that good stuff.
So what do you think of like the electronic copies? Like, is that good? Is that bad? Does that lead for more errors? You know,
I think overall, any
it should be
transition
better.
you make, there's time to see the output actually come out the way you intended.
Okay.
So
I feel like it should be better. Like,
no
pun intended, on paper it should be better.
It adds to it being better, but the challenge is not everybody is generally equal. Right. So if you think about Aruba, Jamaica, where it's going to take you is to a third world country that doesn't have the support system that maybe America has or maybe England has.
Right.
So
or even just based on...
They always connect.
Right. And even based on, like, just the methodology of the way, like, people handle things. Like I know here, like, I'm sure we handle paperwork way different than at, you know, another local company.
Well,
or even international company. Like,
the good is, like you said, it gives you more trackable things, gives you more data, gives you more all those good things that you can utilize and make sure the plane doesn't blow up, make sure the plane doesn't go down, overweight. There's a lot.
Can we say that on here?
Yeah, we're not condoning doing that. We're just saying the good of it. It eliminates that possibility, or it reduces that possibility. So human error is taken out in some places. What we've seen is, as we've made that transition through, it's created actually a lot of layers of double work because they don't always connect on each end.
Yeah, it's almost like you wish that you could start it as like the physical paperwork, get it online, and then like kind of just cycle it through instead of having one or the other, or somewhere in between switching to the other side. And
what people don't realize, there's too many connecting dots. That's why they call it logistics. So you just gotta pick up the connecting dots through the process.
Right.
But I can remember, like I said, back in the day, it was just hopping up on the dock and it was sign and go. Right. And that has definitely changed.
And sorry to I keep interrupting you because I do find this very interesting. Do you think that like that has caused, like, I know for people watching this, I'm sure they understand, but for those that don't, when you pick up from an airline at the airport, generally it's very slow. It is not a very fast moving process there. And we communicate that to our customers too, that like if they want something from a specific location, that you're just not going to get it after like 8 a.m. like, or you're going to be there all night. And or even into the next day, which at that point you might as well just pick it up next day. But do you think like the changes that have happened, like with the security changes and stuff like that, has that played a big part, or is it just purely employees that just don't want to be there? Because I'm sure there's great employees that work at these
Oh
places.
yeah, there's some super good
But
people there.
but is it the bad apples that are making it just a totally spoiled process, or is it a collection of that and other things? Like what do you think?
That, to me, I think that's a separate piece. There's a lot of components. There are some bad apples. There are some management and leadership issues and bad business models that by default they still continue to operate.
Right.
So
it's like you don't have any other options, so you're going to come to me.
So I think your main question is the changing of the electronic and the paperwork and the process we're talking about of the changes, has that contributed to it?
Yeah, sure.
And
sure.
It's probably added some just as much as it's helped. So I think
Gotcha.
the intent of helping the process to eliminate that has created some
right
additional things that people didn't realize, such as the connecting dots on both ends.
And no one's wanted to change over to one or the other just purely because they are stuck in their own ways. Everyone's trying to actively improve it, whether it be in their functions of the business or, things like a paperwork online now.
The security part that we're talking about, people also kind of forget that element of exchange.
Right.
So that still has to exist. And then you have so many governments trying to talk to each other to make sure everybody is doing what each side is requested. So, for example, you might have an issue with some bugs in a certain country that is creating trees being killed here.
Mm-hmm.
And that country, it's not that they're always adversaries, is that right? Or
I don't know.
It's not always that they're against us.
Yeah, that'd be adversaries.
That they're trying to do something to create our downfall, whichever side you're on. They just may not realize that bug does a different thing in this country versus their country.
Right.
So then
it's the same thing with being sick in different countries. Like,
Right.
you're going to get different treatments.
So when that all transpires and there needs to be Food and Drug or Department of Agriculture involved because they see these things, then they need to have awareness. So they might not have the ability to see that. So there's still that physical paperwork that has to translate through to keep goods moving.
Right.
And so that piece was totally lost maybe through the process to realize, we're going to e-airway bill, we're going electronic. Well, that's all fine and dandy until something bad happens and we realize it doesn't support that.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense. So what is your biggest, here, this would be a two-part question. What is your biggest, in your opinion, the biggest improvement that the industry has made, and also the biggest not improvement, I guess, what was a bad word, regression that the industry has made?
I would say definitely they kind of go hand in hand. They're the same answer.
Okay.
Security and security.
Okay.
The security is definitely improved. The awareness to be more secure has been the biggest change. Whether it be freight, physically flying, or whatever might be the case.
Right.
Port security, just in general,
right.
for the public as a whole, you should feel a lot more comfortable with cargo moving.
And some of the stories that you've told me about prior to 9/11 are just not even mind-numbing at the time, but just mind-numbing in general. Like some of the things that you guys would do.
Here's a great example.
Just to move stuff was wild to even think about today, let alone back then.
One example of where security has gotten better. So we all have awareness of the name Osama bin Laden.
Right.
So prior to 9/11, in the process of everything that went with that, there wasn't ability to be secure to known people that wanted to do harm to countries. It was there, don't get me wrong, but that awareness that's within the logistics supply chain now of things that go on is much greater.
Right.
So your security is much stronger. And during that time, the freight forwarding company I worked for at that time had a package on the dock that was from the bin Laden construction company being shipped to Saudi Arabia. And day after 9/11 happened, it got pulled to the side because everything in the funnel got kind of generally held.
Right.
That was related, indirectly related. We're kind of seeing it through the Ukraine-Russia deal today, how there's a process now that can help dilute risk
right.
within the system is the best way to say that. So example now is things like that probably wouldn't even be in the funnel
Okay.
if they are known risk. Whereas there were possibilities in the past
Where
that
it
could
could
pass through the funnel.
Gotcha. So where do you think I used the word regression comes in?
And I say security stands out to me for the most part, and it might be more security safety. There's so many layers of things that are required that just feel like common sense. I hate to say it that way. And either common sense or redundant, that there's so many overlapping either agencies or processes that have to happen that it's like that's the consumption of time.
Okay.
One of my biggest pet peeves from traffic is if people just understood how to yield.
Right.
Yield means give and take.
Right.
Not just immediately stop and not just immediately go.
Right.
And so all your pressure points from a traffic standpoint, most of them come from yield points, merge points.
Right.
So those are the two things that stand out that have drastically changed the process, good and bad. So.
Interesting. Okay. Well, something that hasn't drastically changed is our quality of videos. I think they're getting better and better as we move on.
And even leave a comment on his hair. Like, I'm not sure how that's transpiring there.
Wait, you don't like this? Look at this. It is lengthy. Look at that.
He's got like a wannabe almost man bun kind of.
I've been kind of working
cropping
on it,
up.
right? Like, look. See, it's kind of lengthy.
Looks like mine when I grew mine out and I had a wannabe Coolio dread system
Yeah, but
going on.
your thing though was like, it was like an afro, which I don't know who believes that, but I promise it was.
I had the little box out.
I think you should grow your hair out again.
Yeah,
I think you should.
it happened. It's turning gray up here, and then it's like I got the receding hairline look going.
Do you actually?
Somewhat, if you pay attention to it.
You never have it long enough for me to see it.
I know, that's why I keep it out. Got to stay young.
It's a wise choice. It's a wise choice. I mean, we did touch on it earlier. You were born in the 40s, so.
Look, horse and carriage days.
It's the way it is, really, and the way it is here is that you got to like, subscribe, comment. You can only subscribe if you're logged in. Just saying, and that's how we see your viewers.
Oh, do it.
Log in. I'm just saying. Also, check out. We are doing some more content. Justin talked about it a little bit on his videos. You should check him out. On Mondays, he'll be doing his videos. Fridays, I'll be doing mine. His will be a little bit more important. Mine will be a little bit more fun.
Mine's still going to be fun.
Oh, they're still going to be fun. They're enjoyable. And that's what it really comes down to. The content that we're pushing out, we want to be intentional with it. We want to be thoughtful with it. Not many thoughts are going to be on mine, but it's going to be some way out there. I know I'll be doing, personally, I'm a big baseball fan, so I'll be doing some baseball stuff, some video game stuff maybe, different things like that, if that interests you.
Maybe hair product stuff.
Maybe hair
Fix
product
that.
stuff. If you got hair product recommendations, please let me know, because, I mean, we got to keep it all nice and luscious, you know what I'm saying?
We got some interviews set up, too. So
We do have some interviews set up. We got some really good people, some really good.
We're working on this third mic right here.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't turn it on.
Oh.
Yeah, there it is. But yeah, we are working on some cool stuff like that too. So be sure to stick around so that way we can get that pushed out and you can see it. So that's all I got. Anything else you want to add before we end this episode?
I'm good.
This is episode 60.
Uh-oh.
Getting closer to that 100. Are we going to have like a little party?
No, we got stuff to do.
Will you drink out of that cup behind you?
No,
Why not?
because I got to fly the plane first.
Ah. Well, that cup also might that might ruin her throat.
We out.
Yeah, we out.
We out.